Hi everyone. I'd just like to start today's video by pointing something out. Many of you may not know this, but many of the conditions, symptoms, and the names of certain disabilities that you hear about today all started off as someone's theory.
We'll use Bessel van der Kolk as an example. Mr. van der Kolk is one of the world's leading experts in post-traumatic stress disorder and complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And he's basically the guy that spotted the pattern and triggers of trauma, such as soldiers serving in war, as being the main reason as to why someone would start showing the signs. That's how the connection between trauma and war veterans was introduced, through someone's theory.
The only reason that we're telling you this is because we'd like you all to understand that the information that we're going to be providing you with today is simply our theory and what we believe in as a result of what we've studied. There are always going to be people that disagree with each other in psychology, and we're not here to argue with anyone or offend people. But we just wanted to be clear about where the information for today's video has come from. I hope you all enjoy.
The first thing that I'd like to say is that despite what you probably think, you should never stop or prevent your child from having a temper tantrum. If we repeatedly minimize our children's emotions, they become less likely to be self-aware. Also, they exhibit more outward signs of anger. Their outbursts can get worse. And children who have the space and allowances to express their emotion tend to be more socially aware and less angry. We're not saying that you should allow your child to become destructive or abusive. And of course there are always going to be inappropriate times and places that your children decide to have a temper tantrum. But these things can all be managed and structured with good routine and boundaries. But what you should never do is completely stop, prevent, or even punish your child's temper tantrum.
Children whose parents calmly coach them through their anger have less intense meltdowns. These children also exhibited less anger overall. Parents who address their children's negative emotions in calm and thoughtful ways foster better emotional balance in their children. Instead of getting angry or dismissive towards your child, you should always acknowledge their feelings. For example, say, "You're upset. That's hard." This lets them feel heard. As a result, children feel empowered to move on because you haven't dismissed or minimized their feelings.
The last thing that we'd like to say is that a physical vent of any kind, whether you are a child or an adult, is very important and beneficial for you to process and release negative emotions from your body, such as stress and anger. We're going to talk more about this in another video, but there is an incredible connection between your emotions and your body. And if you can connect the two together, then you can use a physical vent as an excellent resource to remove stressful feelings and tensions from your mind. A good example of this being demonstrated is when your child throws a temper tantrum. At that particular time when your child is kicking, screaming, or jumping up and down in a rage, the only thing they're thinking of while exerting that energy is the situation that's annoyed them. And so by having that total focus on the trigger of their tantrum, along with the fact that they are physically expressing their emotions, will result in pretty much all stress and frustration being expelled from your child's body and mind.
This technique can be used at any age, including adult years. And there are dozens of different ways that it can be used. Running, combat sports, and even things like painting a room are just a few ways that a physical vent can be used. We'll end the video there for now, but we will continue this topic in tomorrow's video. And we will be sure to come back with loads of examples of how you can teach both yourself and your child to physically remove stress and anger from your minds.